It's May the 4th, and the force is strong with this episode of Fundamentals, where Marvel clashes with the multiverse, Doom rises, and the Thunderbolts assemble. But don't worry, Star Wars fans, we didn't forget your holiday. Stick around for our galaxy sized breakdown of what's brewing in the galaxy far, far away today on Fundamentals. Hey.
Hey, may the fourth be with you.
Yes. I feel like it's an honor that it just so happily landed on our recording day that we get May the 4th. So super excited. And it's nice to
Yeah,
also actually have some great Star Wars news to talk about in the current Star Wars project going on. But
yeah.
without further ado, we got some interesting stuff to talk about in Marvel. Let's kick that off.
Let's go.
All right, so the Russo brothers just dropped the first behind-the-scenes shot from Marvel's Doomsday to confirm filming has begun. Oh man, it's not much, we get this chair, Victor Von Doom, and then with the
Yeah,
post they put I think just day one, like dot
yeah,
dot dot. So but it's nice to know it. It's nice to hear it. We knew we've been staying on top of production started, I believe, in March, and
yeah.
filming is now underway. So
Because we've seen some photos of like the kind of behind the scenes of we saw what Magneto and James Marsden with Wong. We
yeah,
got
so
we had
I
that picture
think
that we had to come up.
those have been, I could be wrong, but I heard that those have actually been proven been fake.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
I've heard that they were part of pre-production stuff with costuming, but then
Hmm.
also I've read where someone like proved that they were fake. So I really don't know what to believe on that. I'd like to
I don't
believe
know.
it was
We'll see
pre-production
when it
stuff.
comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah, who knows?
but yeah, we
But
shall find out.
something that we do know that is actually for real, is that we got a set photo of Doomsday from I think Shang-Chi's actual Instagram, right? And it shows
Hmm.
Chris Hemsworth with a rather than kind of a regular haircut.
Yeah.
Um, he's got short hair again.
Yeah, Simu Liu on his Instagram, he did this, behind the scenes of the cast photo. But yeah, he's got short hair, so it's good to, I guess, see that. I personally like his hair like that. I think we get that first in Ragnarok,
Yeah.
and but yeah, I mean both ways is fine with me. Just as long as we don't get Fat Thor back on the screen. That was funny for a one and
What?
done.
No,
No, it was
I
funny, but
oh, I
yeah,
thought it was great. Um, yeah, no, but like so I thought it was interesting because he had said like Avengers Assemble, and then like you look at the photo and there aren't really a lot of like event like so I have thoughts, like
yeah.
does that mean that like this is they're going to create an Avengers and this is like what one of the teams is going to be because it's got the Fantastic Four in it and
Mhm.
um it's got Channing Tatum was in that photo and
And Baku's in there too.
oh yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
So
we'll pull it back up real quick. I mean, yeah, you have, Sue Storm in there. You got the Thing. You got Anthony Mackie and Baku, Ant-Man. You got RDJ there too, though. So I don't
yep.
know. I think it was a just he said Avengers Assemble. Is that what you said? I think.
Yeah, or you said
Yeah.
like Avengers let's do some I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly what his exact post had said. Um
I think it wasn't too much reading into his
yeah.
content that he put. I think it's more of just a we're on the set of Avengers type thing. Because if it does mean something, I'm still confused. I'm not like my mind's already spinning. Like after you brought that up, I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, oh, crap, because now we have RDJ in there as well in there. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So I yeah,
it's nice to be
it's
getting
interesting.
pictures though and seeing things. I mean, as soon as we know the week of that they start filming, so I'm sure there's a lot more to come, officially and
Yeah.
unofficially.
Yes, and I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, but speaking of RDJ, what if I told you Iron Man didn't die? And he evolved into Doctor Doom. So what I'm about to tell you is literally strictly rumor. There's nothing confirmation coming from it. There's no like super great source, but this is a theory that's floating around out there that I absolutely love, and I couldn't help but put it on the list to talk about. So the rumor is the Russo supposedly told someone that the snap will play into a role in Doomsday. Doctor Strange tried suckering Tony into sacrifice himself for the greater good, and when Tony snapped himself into the timeline like he did, he actually became Doom in another area. He'll already have the scars from like the scars that we've seen him die, his physical body die right there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
the snap, whatever you think when you do the snap, that's what will happen. So what if, he knew his physical body couldn't, sustain it, but then somehow it transported him, into another universe. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but they're saying like, Doom is scarred up initially, like in the comics
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where the scars come from, is from what it did to his body during that snap.
Yeah.
Even though he like went somewhere else. And it
Yeah.
fried his entire side. And that also he would kind of know who to recruit for his team, that for Battle World or whatever, because he's kind
Yeah.
of dealt with everybody in the MCU, and he knows their past and knows what they're capable of.
I don't know. Because so I always had that theory that this is just like before he became Iron Man. So we saw him in Iron Man 1 where he
Mhm.
got captured by the Ten Rings. And what if instead of creating Iron Man, he made Victor Von Doom from that instead?
Like an
Um,
alternative
so
timeline.
yeah, and we never got like Iron Man.
Mm.
But then I do remember them or the Russo brothers saying that like this Victor Von Doom isn't even attached to Iron Man. I do know there's a comic out there too where Tony Stark himself actually does become
Mhm.
Victor Von Doom. So um, I don't know.
But they
I
yeah, so
no, go ahead.
what you said, like they've said that it's not attached to it, but then they also have contradicted themselves and said it is, because literally when they initially brought him on stage, they said new mask, same task. Well, therefore, if it's the same task, it's something to do, with RDJ still being connected to Stark, and then sorry, Stark being connected to Doom. Like, and then also, there's been theories and rumors out there that Stark has actually been a variant of Doom this whole entire time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know.
I
Because
feel
if
like
it
there's sorry.
no, you go first.
No, it's just my mind's like spinning right now because it's like, my
Yeah,
God, what makes the most sense, And like
yeah,
obviously I think we're gonna be like this until it's just official, and we see it
yeah.
on screen. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that the Russo brothers also said that there was a specific way to tell his story is what brought them back to do this that made sense with RDJ from going Stark to Doom. So like
Hmm.
I feel like it for them it has to be a very specific story and it being super unique, they said, and radical on top of that. I think was one of the words they exactly used to describe it. It
Yeah,
has to be some kind of tie-in. The idea is just figuring out how it's tied in.
because we know that the guy from the Ten Rings, the leader, he's not dead.
Right, because he's coming back in the Vision production. He's coming back in the Vision production.
Right. So my thought process is that like maybe that this Stark, actually ended up building him his missiles and becoming like kind of the new co-leader or kind of was running alongside of him.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't really know because maybe that's the interpretation that they're going to have is that the scars that Tony has from the Jericho missile blowing up because he was scarred the fuck up in Iron Man 1, right?
He had a few
Um,
cuts on his face, but they ended up healing without showing scars on his face later on.
yeah,
But
but like what
maybe
if
from it scarred him up worse than our universe. But I see what you're saying. Like
yeah,
maybe
and
shrapnel tore his face up way more.
mhm,
Maybe not necessarily his body to where it got to his heart, but it
yeah,
actually did more of his face. Okay, I
like
see.
more like a fire burn type thing because if you're dealing
Hmm.
with explosives, sometimes they explode.
Yeah, right.
Um,
It
so
gets
I
a little
don't
hot.
know. A little spicy, if you will. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I am excited, like super excited for May 1st, next year, for us to get
Yeah.
Doomsday and actually get to really figure it out,
Yeah, and I really, really, truly hope that they keep us just like we are right now on the edge of our seats, not knowing exactly
Yeah.
how it's gonna come into play until it's on screen. I hope it
Oh
never
yeah.
leaks. I pray to God it never leaks. Fingers crossed that
I
that is
don't know.
something that
I
we
might
don't know
just
until
be I
theater.
might, if I read anything about like a leakage like that, I'm just gonna be like, oh, that's just fake news. That's AI. That's not new. That's not, no, I'm not even gonna talk about it.
That's fake clickbait. That's just yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, but speaking of things that are on screen, we are going to do a non-spoiler review of Thunderbolts, and we will do a spoiler full review coming out probably Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So
Hmm.
stand by and be looking for that. But yeah, Thunderbolts is setting pretty well with scores from Rotten Tomatoes and audiences. And did Marvel finally find its edge again? Like, is it back to giving us what us fans have like been craving that it's been missing as of
Yeah.
late?
Yeah. I don't know because it really did feel a lot like um how do I want to put that? Like it feels like it's the building up. The same
Hmm.
thing kind of like how Iron Man made us feel when we first saw it. We're like, "Oh man." Like at the time we didn't really know that they were building because, we had
Right.
the end credit scene of Iron Man where Nick Fury was like, "I'm building a team." So like you had the idea of maybe we're building up to something, but like this movie just feels like it's that stepping stone,
Mm.
um just like really like the next step to get to whatever's coming next. So like I really did enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
It was as funny as I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
And then also like it just made me feel good. Like it felt like emotionally um stimulating, if you will. Like
Yeah.
I was just really happy.
No, I completely agree with you. I really liked the mental health aspects it hit throughout the movie
Yeah.
in multiple ways throughout the whole team. And I will say, like, there's only one complaint I have about this, and obviously I think it's a complaint that's just kind of goes in part with how great this was. Is I just wish some of the scenes were longer and touched a little deeper than,
Hmm.
than they did, and we'll kind of go more into detail on that on the standalone deal. But I
That sounds great.
wish there were some things that would have went a little bit longer and deeper because where they were going and where they went was great.
Yeah.
But like just like anything else, when you really like something, like anything that it's a movie, we're like, oh, I wish it was longer. But and yeah, I don't know. I think this was super good. Florence Pugh is amazing. I will say a thing about Florence Pugh's performance is I've always liked Florence Pugh since she just came on as Yelena. But I've always, wanted ScarJo back somehow in some variant wise of Black Widow because I just absolutely love her Black Widow. But I will
Hmm.
say after watching this movie, I am okay with us never getting ScarJo's Black Widow back, and
Oh,
this
good, because we
being a
probably won't.
yeah, and this being a full replacement Black Widow character, to carry on that mantle. I just absolutely loved it. And there's a scene that I thought was really, really good at the beginning with her. I guess if you want to give a partake of a hallway scene, just leave it at that. But that
Okay.
that that was fun,
Yeah.
and I don't know. There's just so many things of her. Like she really was. I feel like the leading person in this movie,
Mhm.
and it was done so well though. Like it wasn't like too heavy or too much one person.
Yeah.
It was well to see her leading, and then all the other characters as well. I thought got an equal amount of spotlight that made sense and was well balanced. But yeah, I don't know, man. All the mental health stuff was so good as well, and the music was good. I really you can really tell too on this that they leaned super heavy into practical effects and practical shooting with not
Yeah.
heavy CGI. I really
Hmm.
really love that because you really felt it.
You were
Uh,
in it.
yes,
You're
yes.
like, I am there and I am with you and I am, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure, and hats off to Jake Schreier. Like, I hope they keep him around to do some more MCU stuff, just because, I mean, his visual and take and style that he brought to this film was just great. I think they should definitely keep incorporating him into some MCU projects, moving forward because this just
Okay.
worked. I mean,
Yeah. And
every
he's
bit of
the
this
he's the
worked.
director, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and he was one that was so I think heavy into having the tone of, hey, let's not use a whole lot of CGI. Let's do a lot of practical shooting and some real life, explosions and props and stuff into making these scenes. I think that that was a lot of his view that he wanted to bring into this, and so
Yeah.
he was kind of one that helped lead that in that direction. So and obviously it worked. So and visually, I mean, like this was a darker, darker, grittier tone we see than some MCU movies because obviously, Daredevil's pretty dark and gritty, but it's not a movie. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It freaking worked. It was so good.
Hmm.
If you've not seen it, please go see it. I actually was supposed to see it the second time last night. I ended up canceling on it because I was just tired, and I'm probably gonna go see it again tonight before we
Okay.
actually do our full blown breakdown. But
Yeah, I can't wait
my
to
God.
actually watch the new Rockstars has their own breakdown already.
Hmm.
So I'm excited to actually watch that because I haven't had the chance to watch it yet because I watched it
I haven't
yesterday.
either. Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna watch it before we record. I'm hoping. I hope I have the time.
Yes, because
I'm
there's so much
speaking
stuff
into
we
existence.
caught. There's so much stuff we
Yeah,
caught, but I swear to God, they always find something that I didn't
yeah,
catch, and I love getting just that little bit more information and a little
yeah.
bit more
Because
connection.
I mean, like we always say it that we're not 100% like the nerd of the nerd, right? Like we don't have
Right.
all of the information. We have what information we have, but um I think that like because they have a little bit more comic knowledge than I do, that they have
Mhm.
that spin on it. And then they're also like I don't know, they have like three people like putting together a script and
Yeah,
then they nail it. They're just
they do.
great.
The team is amazing. So yeah, it's always great. Plus, I usually typically when it comes to stuff like this, there's about 3 or 4 people I watch their stuff because it's interesting to see what is similar that everybody gets out of it, but it's also nice to see different takes and perspectives on different things because none of them are quite exactly the same, and
Yeah.
that's what we kind of pride ourselves in. There may be a lot of similar takes that we talk about and catch from things because we feel the same way, but then it's nice to have that also little unique difference as well mixed in with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fantastic Four stuff, let's see. It's not a trailer we got, but it's something. Fantastic Four now has some collector cards Marvel revealed, and let's see. Pull a visual up here. We get the whole family, and we get Herbie. So if
Yeah.
you are big into collecting cards or just Marvel memorabilia in general, you can now get these. What would be really cool is to get these and then go to Comic Con and have each one that played these characters sign each card. That
So
would
I
be
was
sick.
thinking of it as like a popcorn bucket if they had each
Oh yeah.
card on the popcorn bucket on each side and then
Hmm.
yeah,
That
I
would be
thought
great.
that would be really cool. I don't really know what they would do with a popcorn bucket for this movie. There are so many different ideas that I
So
have,
many.
but like I don't know what they're gonna do. But if they're just gonna do like a generic, because everybody has the generic like circle,
Yeah.
popcorn bucket, but um I think for this one, like for their circle one, if they just put the cards, like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a good print to have on a bucket. I think the only bucket I think we've gotten so far that we know we're going to get is the head of the thing, right? Ben Grimm. That's what we have showed. I think was the Ben Grimm head that we seen
I
a
don't
popcorn bucket style. I think we talked about it like 3 episodes ago. But
I don't remember. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no. I think that's the only
Um,
thing we got. But we know there's going to be other variations. They're not going to just leave it at that. But I think
right.
that's going to be a great one. But I was just you bringing that up, man. What if we start like going to these cons to get autographs? We just start taking the themed popcorn buckets and then you have a collection of autographed popcorn buckets from all of these movies. People so big
I
into
would love
pictures
to
and
get
Funko
Harrison
Pops.
Ford to sign the Red Hulk popcorn bucket that you have. That
Oh
would
my god.
be
Oh my god.
super neat.
That
Super
would
neat.
be insane. Just to have Harrison Ford's autograph in general, I
Yes,
would die.
that. Yeah, on literally anything. It can be a Star Wars thing, it can
Yeah.
be a Marvel thing, it can be an Indiana Jones thing. He has
Yeah.
so many
Oh, so
different
many.
oh,
Well,
yeah.
and like, 'cause, like I tell you right now, if I ever got to meet Harrison Ford, I would take the Red Hulk that you got me, and have that sign. And then there's also a giant Funko Pop, like a scene from Indiana Jones that I think it's like him in there, and I could be wrong, but I want to say it's like the giant rock ball rolling, but it's like a
Yeah,
giant
the
one.
boulder.
It's like
Yeah.
this, yeah, it's like this big. That would be
Oh my
sick to have
God.
him sign, and then I would have to get something of Han Solo. I would have to get like 3 autographs signed from him if I ever met him. It couldn't be
Damn.
just one.
Yeah.
But on to the next thing. Jeremy Renner says no to Hawkeye season 2. They offered
Yeah.
him half his original salary, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
Which I can't blame the guy.
No.
But he kind of explained, they came to him about the season 2, and he was on a interview that's online right now, and he's like, it wasn't a Marvel Disney thing. It was more just the accountants pinching pennies, and really, but he's like, no, why? He's like, I'm not even asking for more money. He's like, just pay me what you
Yeah.
did in the first season, and I'll come
Yeah.
back for the second season. So he's not even being greedy, but we
No.
also don't know. And maybe he does know. We don't know how much his character was written into the second season, because you would think that maybe it would lean more toward Kate Bishop and maybe less of him, but maybe not. Maybe it's another equal collaboration. So,
Yeah.
and if
And I
that's the
mean,
case,
like,
I don't blame him. I can't blame the
yeah,
guy.
no, I mean, like, I think regardless of how much ever work that he puts into it, like, I think that he should still get paid the same
Yeah,
because he is a reoccurring character and
right.
that, like, he had that, like, near death experience.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that was the
like,
one thing he said. He's like, "What do y'all think? I'm half a man because I was ran over, so I'm only worth half of a person." He said that in that interview. I was like, "Oh God,
yikes.
yeah,
Yikes. Okay, but I mean, no, we don't, but I mean, I'm just I don't know. Like I know that people are like, "Oh, Hollywood's dead," because of TikTok and everything, and
mm,
that's how people are getting famous now. Um, I don't know. Like I think that you still do need like that hint of Hollywood. It's not going to be as like what it was.
right."
But I think that people should still get paid for their craft.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially like you said, he's a recurring character. He's been there since the first Avengers movie. Um,
Yeah,
so this guy's put in his time, and he's a well-loved character on top of that. I mean,
yeah,
especially when we had the huge, transition from him being a Ronin, during Endgame, and him coming back from that. I mean, there's so
hmm
many depths and levels of him that people love. Like, can't be treating this man like this.
yeah. He's a great actor. Like he does great with everything that he does. So yeah, I think that like he should. I'm glad that people are standing up for themselves and
Mhm. Oh yeah, for
saying
sure.
like I am worth my worth is so much more than that.
Right. No, 100%. And he also just released a book, a memoir of his that I plan on buying to read. I think it's just something about my next breath. And I think
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think he wrote it like after his accident with the snowplow.
hmm
Especially the name of the title, it kind of makes sense. So I could only imagine it's pretty good and inspiring. So I'm sure you kind of like when you have a near death, experience like that, you kind of have a different look on things in life. So
I mean, even when you like step out into traffic and like somebody like races by, even though it was literally a crosswalk and they saw
mhm,
it, but they didn't see it, whatever, because they're distracted driving.
right.
But you have that like your heart skips a beat and you see everything in a whole new light, like
Right.
for however long. Like you breathe differently. You're like, oh, the
Yeah.
nature, the birds, you know. But yeah, no, it makes sense that he wrote a book and that sounds super great. I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to seeing him in a whole bunch more stuff because, like, another great thing is Mayors of Kingstown. And I don't think you've watched that yet, but I'm telling you, it's insane. Like, it
Okay,
is insane. You have to see it. But that kind of wraps us up for Marvel this week. You ready to jump into some DC?
let's go.
So it's kind of blurry, it's kind of pixelated, but there is
Yeah.
13 seconds of some Supergirl footage that leaked, and it kind of goes in par with the photos we've been showing that's been leaked lately. Uh,
hmm
it's a little pixelated, but that's about as good as a picture I could get. So you kind of look at that as being familiar, but it
Yeah.
just shows her on top of a tank, really
Yeah. It shows her climbing out of the tank and
taking off.
then fighting Lobo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it looks like I guess like she's probably wearing a cloak to hide her suit until they film because of they know how people do that. I think it like shows her taking off that cloak, throwing it down to the person behind her, and then as she goes to engage with Lobo, which looks like he's carrying a giant axe of some sort. It almost looks like a Stormbreaker type weapon, but and then it just stops. I'm like, ah, dang. So I don't know. It's something that's out there. Nothing too exciting or too in detail, but
No, it's okay because we needed a little bit of good
we
DC
do.
news because
Yes.
we got some not so great DC news. So, we've been talking about Sergeant Rock here and there, but we officially got word that it has been canceled. How does
Yeah.
that make you feel?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about Sergeant Rock, and I don't hear a lot of people's like, "Oh my god, Sergeant Rock is one of my go-to characters. I love him." But I was
Yeah.
excited that Colin Farrell was in talks of playing him because
Yeah, he
it's
was
not
actually signed to play him
right,
because
and yeah,
Daniel Craig stepped away
right.
because of him and his wife having schedule conflicts. So
Hmm.
Colin Farrell stepped in, and then we're like, okay, well, maybe we really aren't going to see more of the Penguin anytime soon. Hopefully, this doesn't
Right,
interfere with the Batman 2.
right.
And now it's been canceled. So we're like,
Yeah, I mean, I was here for it. Obviously, I'm here to support anything that Gunn is building in the new DC to hope it goes over well. But
yeah,
I'm kind of wondering too now if maybe this happened. I just now thought about this is what if it was they're like, listen, we have to do something else with the Penguin at least one more season, and so there's no other option but to have Colin Farrell. Obviously, you can't get anybody else,
yeah,
and so maybe he's like, okay, well if that's the case, I have to pull out Sergeant Rock and then after Daniel Craig and then, him pulling out, maybe that's why they shut it down. And they're like, listen, Gunn's like, let's just not even deal with this because I'm not going to go on a strung out thing of two
yeah.
actors have dropped out. I'm not going to go into that realm. It's not necessary. Let's cut it.
I don't know. I think that because it got canceled, maybe they're in talks about doing something for Penguin because it's not the only thing that we
Right.
found out had canceled
Right.
or not canceled, but his
Yeah. Canceled. Because,
news.
yeah, there's the thing, something we mentioned a few episodes ago of DC that was already canceled as well. So this isn't, I hope we're not starting to see another DC trend of projects getting canceled because since Gunn has taken over, this is the second DC cancellation we've had. So I
What
can't
was the
remember
first one?
I can't
Oh,
remember
okay.
what it
I'm
is.
like, I don't
Yeah,
remember
but this is the second project of Gunn taking over that has
because
officially been canceled.
it's not Lanterns.
No, no,
They weren't doing
that's
another thing with Suicide Squad.
nope. That's a full blown. There is something that we mentioned 3 or 4 episodes ago, but and it wasn't
I
like
don't
a
know.
huge thing. It was
Yeah.
just something.
Mm, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
Uh,
we'll come across it and we'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably was. I was probably gonna bother me today, so I'll go back and look at it after we get done doing the show. But James Gunn just teased another picture of him and Mr. Terrific on IG for Superman. Here we are with that. So it's a happy anniversary to Mr. Terrific. So he did that in lieu of that, and it's not really nothing new. We get to really see. I mean,
Yeah, we saw
it's
him
an
in the
on
last
set photo.
trailer,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Which
yeah,
he looks amazing. Like it's so
yeah.
comic accurate, like everything else he's putting in there. So.
Yeah, but I think this is the first one that we get to see his like more of his body, if
Yeah.
you will. 'Cause like with the trailer you just see like here,
Mhm.
but like now you see it down to like his right above his
And
knees, like his
yeah,
thighs like area.
okay.
I don't think we've gotten one of those before, so I don't really know a whole lot about Mr. Terrific. So like I don't really know what to expect from him. I assume that he's a bad guy. I feel like we talked about this already and I keep forgetting. So please apologize. I'm apologizing. Please forgive me is what I'm trying to say. um but yeah, I'm I'm excited for Superman. I am.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, and then going to go see Thunderbolts yesterday. I got to actually see the Superman trailer up on the big screen and I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was nice to see that. And just that music score alone, like, it just makes you
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah, and this was the first time that I got to see it, like, actually on a big screen because every single time
Oh,
I'm watching
really?
it on my laptop,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different, feeling. But, we got
Mhm.
some more bad news that I'm sure you're super
The
upset
roller
about.
coaster, yeah, it's a roller coaster of DC, and it has to do with Clayface.
Mm.
So everybody knows me and Mike Flanagan were like this, but he left Clayface.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to start filming Clayface in the summer, but now it's being
Mm.
pushed back to October because they have to do rewrites for the script. Apparently, Mike Flanagan had given a draft of a script, and I guess they didn't like the direction that he was going, so then he walked away from the project. And I don't really know how I feel about this anymore. I have to wait to see who the new director is. Um, because I feel like Clayface could either be done really right or done really wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think that's a character like a lot of people love and have been looking forward to see in live action. And
yeah.
I hate that because I mean, like we've been covering this pretty hard, every little single move, and yeah,
And they just talked about it during, or they didn't really talk about it so much, but during the CinemaCon that we
yeah,
covered,
yeah,
they did have that like photo that we saw on their 2026
slate,
slate because it's supposed to come out in September of
yeah,
2026. Um,
yeah,
but
because it
that
had that
hasn't been.
'90s design on it. Yeah,
But this hasn't been pushed back. We don't really know what's happening with it now. I just read that he walked away from it, and I'm like, oh,
yeah. It seems like that. Even with this happening though, like Gunn's really big about wanting to like make this happen. For
yeah,
them to completely lose him, and they still need to see a script and a storyline that they like.
yeah.
Going from October, I mean, to go just
It
push it
was
to
from the summer
October.
to October. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a big push for you not having a story and a director now.
It probably means that he has already a storyline up. He just wants an actual script that matches that
The narrative.
storyline,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means he probably has some directors in mind. I mean, he did work on Guardians of the Galaxy as well, and
Yeah.
he has like some tricks up his sleeve, right?
Well, yes, I mean,
So,
for all we know, he could be taking this on himself. I'll write it and direct it.
yeah.
I know, like, a
So,
lot of people
who
don't wanna see him, like, doing a lot of writing and directing since he's overseeing the DCU, but, like, I guess one good thing could be is if something like this falls through and it's something, like, he's so passionate about and that needs to happen, he could step in and do that himself.
or you could mentor somebody like a new up and coming director and writer. Like it could be
Mhm.
someone we've never heard of before.
Right.
Um, but who knows? Who knows how this will affect the rest of DC's schedule, if it'll actually shift Clayface, or if they're just gonna take that out and maybe they'll
Right.
push up Batman because there's that's still
Yeah.
supposed to be coming out.
I don't think they'll push that up. I don't know. With us getting this and like you saying it's pushed to October instead of summer, I say within the next 60 days we're going to already get new news on who the new guy is.
Yeah.
I think we'll find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I
But
hope so.
let's hope we don't have a lot more people dropping out and cancellations of DC moving forward. We don't need to see
Yeah.
this trend again because that was a trend of as of late.
Yeah, but I mean, also at the same note is that I like that if there isn't like if it isn't what James Gunn wants, like
Right.
he's like okay with canceling.
Sure. Yeah, at least he's
He's
keeping
not going to put out a
hopefully
shitty
keep
product.
yeah, so at least he's not, or at least he's keeping track of that quality. He's expecting that standard. So,
Yeah.
but
But you ready
yeah,
to get in some Star Wars?
let's do it. So, speaking of things that started filming, Ahsoka season 2 has officially begun filming, and I'm just waiting for so many set leak photos, unofficial photos, and I'm sure more theories going to keep dropping out. And on this, we've already seen so many theories. There's been theories where we're going to get some Natalie Portman scenes in this,
Mm-hmm.
some more Anakin scenes with Hayden Christensen, like we
Yeah.
did in the first season. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know what to expect of it. I'm just happy it's happening
Yeah.
because I loved Ahsoka 1. And, we get Rory McCann, who is going to be Balin Skull, replacing the late Ray Stevenson. So
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that was a good choice on a recast. I think
Hmm.
he's definitely going to
It
bring
looks
to
the
the
part.
screen what we need. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him in another bigger role, since Game of Thrones. So,
Yeah. And we got to see that Ahsoka, uh like they didn't really talk about it a whole lot during the Star Wars Celebration that I'm aware of,
Hmm.
but they did have Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen actually like meet up.
Yeah.
And there was like 1,001 photos about that. But we got this news from Rosario Dawson's actual like Instagram. She made a post and it was this
Yes.
it was shared like her feet and like an out
Silhouette.
and she's like yeah
Yeah.
and she's like all right it's day one and I was just like oh shit
Yeah.
like
And that was
that's
pretty
cool.
clever given the silhouette of Ahsoka, but not showing.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a
because
good
you could
teaser.
you know
Yeah.
that that's
Oh yeah.
yeah
You can't deny that outline.
yeah
I'm excited though.
um
I really love the first season, and I know a lot of people. We got a lot of flashbacks in that
yeah
season, and a lot of people are hoping that we get more flashbacks of like live action Clone Wars visuals.
yeah
That the animated series was so well loved, and that's where you got to see a lot of Ahsoka. So I'm
mhm,
hoping we do get that. Now, I hope it's a little bit more in detail than what we got last time because I know it takes a lot to recreate those live action. I mean, visuals, and I think there was a lot of dust and haziness mixed in when we got those when she was having her I don't know what you would call them. I guess flashbacks with Anakin and stuff. So we'll see.
yeah
But
I mean like I watched all of it
uh,
I wasn't super all about it.
really,
Yeah, but it might also be because I didn't watch Clone Wars and
Mhm.
all of like the animated series like Bad Batch and everything like before leading up to it. And people were like, you need to watch this and this and this and this these episodes to like get like to where you need to be. And I was like, well, I don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna watch it. And I did, and it wasn't terrible. Like I still did enjoy parts of it.
Yeah,
But it also wasn't like super emotional for me
sure.
or I wasn't really as attached, I want to say.
Hmm. No, it makes sense. I still haven't watched a lot of the all of the animated. I still have some catching up to do on the animated stuff myself as well. Uh, but it's good. I'm not gonna lie, like it's pretty good. And then also we do know I think Zeb is going to be in Ahsoka season 2, which we see him also in the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer footage that was released at in Japan at Star Wars Celebration, and that
Yeah.
comes from the Rebels animated series. That's arguably probably one of the most loved animated series out of all the animated things they've did was Rebels.
Yeah.
So Rebels is something definitely to watch as well.
Okay.
But Andor just dropped 3 back-to-back episodes that prove the rebellion is rising, but so is the Empire, and tensions are about to snap. Like I am so loving this. If it's not a bam, 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 fast-paced, a lot of action, but
Yeah.
as in for the spy espionage setting and stuff, I like it. It's been good to me. What's your thoughts on this? How are you enjoying it?
I'm just watching it. I don't
Yeah,
know, like it's I don't- I want more action.
right.
I know that they are building up story and such, but I kind of like I'm watching it and I'm just
Mhm.
kind of like losing interest with watching it.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm like maybe sometimes like I disconnect from like what's actually happening on the screen and then I'm like and I hear something and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna reconnect to like what's actually like happening on the screen.
Uh,
Um, so I don't know, like I wasn't like super crazy about the first season. Maybe it was because like all of the hype about Andor was
mhm.
already out and before I started watching Andor because like we had talked about it and you're like, you need to watch it so we
Yeah.
can talk about season 2. So like, all right. And then I watched it and I was just like, okay, I mean, it's a thing that I watched.
Yeah. There's so many it was crazy, so many theories and, like, some things so, like, Clea, the one that is working, um, she's the one that, was taking that sound piece off there, that last episode, and she's working with Luthen. But anyways, a lot of
Okay.
people are, like, going crazy, like, they're saying, like, she's way too old for this time setting, and I've not really put the timeline together exactly right to know exactly what age Leia would be. But people are like, what if that's Leia? That she's working with Luthen. I don't think it is because I
I
think
don't think that
Leia
is.
would be younger. Like where this is
Yeah.
at is about. I think Leia would be 13 in this time era because like where we're at right now with Andor,
Mm,
I think it's taking place 5 years before we see Alderaan blow up in episode 4 of
mhm.
A New Hope. So I don't think that's her at all. But then there's another theory. They're like, yeah, that's right. She wouldn't be Leia because the age gap. But then someone's like, what if she's a Mandalorian? And she is, undercover working, and I don't know. Her character
I
is
don't
one
know
of the
because
most intriguing.
Mandalorians aren't supposed to take off their helmets, and I know Pedro Pascal has, and that's
Hmm.
like,
But
but
also, you have a lot of Mandalorians
she,
that aren't true Mandalorians. They
uh,
just take. You have Mandalorians in the Star Wars realm who don't wear helmets. They take them off and
yeah,
on all the time because
yeah.
they're a Mandalorian, but they didn't grow up as a Mandalorian, so they don't actually follow that rule. You have different tiers of
But that would
Mandalorians.
only make sense if she, like, when she's doing the things, like the things for the rebellion, right? The good things
Mhm.
rather than the bad, right? Is that she would be wearing a piece of armor, still like showing that she has a
Well,
connection.
that's where there's that metal piece on this last scene. It looks like a Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah, I completely don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Because I
So wait,
forgot
when she's
about.
when she's twisting that thing, to get
Yeah,
the speaker off. So that cloak she's wearing or whatever, there's like a
yeah.
metal medallion type thing that's I guess just decoration, and people are zooming in on it, and it looks like the shape of a Mandalorian helmet, and so that's where the Mandalorian theory came from.
Hmm.
I think it's interesting. I think there is
Yeah.
something. I hope there's something more in depth to her character that's a surprise by the end of this. Another thing that Diego Luna said, he's like, after all of season 2 comes out, he's like, go back and watch Rogue One. He's like, I promise
Oh
you.
yeah.
He's like, you're going to see it from a completely different light than when you originally watched it. And
Yeah,
so I
especially because he was like, yeah, I'm gonna help out the rebellion, but he's not like super gung ho
right,
rebellion. And then by the time you get to Rogue One, he's like, we need to do this,
right.
you know?
I do like how the last episode left us where she got the satisfaction to go, stick a dude in the electric chair and walk out.
Bruh.
And
Yeah,
he was there supporting her. He's like, I'm with you. He's like, we're gonna do what it
yeah,
takes. I love their relationship
yeah.
and how much he cares.
But what happens to Binks? Because something has to happen to her 'cause she's not
Because
in
she's
Rogue
not Rogue
One.
One. I know.
Mm.
I think by the end of the season she's gonna get killed. 100%.
And I thought like that was kind of where it was heading with one of the episodes where like he left to go do the job and then she
Yeah.
started like taking drugs.
Yeah.
Um and I was like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
he's gonna come back and she's gonna be dead." But it
Yep.
didn't happen that way. So I was like, "Okay, so what happens?" Does she go on a job and kind of like the same thing with how, oh God, I can't remember what her name is with the two girls.
Yeah, Cinta got killed when they were did the
Yes.
heist. Yeah, Cinta got
Yeah,
killed. Oh,
so
I hated to see that. Like, I was like, oh, dude, I got mad. I got so mad in that scene because, like, I don't know. I was like, oh, they've been split up all this time, and now they're together. And I'm like, they're finally together, and they both had their reasons, and then guess what? Pew pew. Why couldn't he have like, like
well,
why?
just one pew, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes, you're right. But it's like, man, why couldn't that guy had the aim of a stormtrooper and it just went over her head, and missed her? But
And that's the thing is it wasn't even supposed to hit her. It was
no,
like they
it's an
were fighting over
accident.
the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it accidentally went off. And the fact that they both were like, you knew that guy was going to be a problem because they were
Mm.
at the table and they were
Oh yeah.
talking about like no one will have guns, blasters,
Yeah.
except for us two. We are the only two that will have blasters. If anybody has an issue with that, you got to speak up now. And he just kind of was like head hanging low, like ah.
Yeah.
But the minute that he took out that blaster, I was like, somebody's gonna die.
And maybe it's wrong for me to say this, but I love how she like laid into him at the end and was like
Yeah.
telling him, "You'll never
Don't you
be."
dare
Yeah,
cry. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. Don't You'll never be of the equal value of the person she was, and you'll be like yearning for that your whole life, and this is never going to leave you. And that
Yeah.
I really like that scene.
Yeah. It was a good scene.
Yeah. So we know from Japan Star Wars Celebration, we got to mention of Maul Shadow Lord, and I think there was some talk of the Ninth Jedi, which is the more anime style Star Wars. I think Star Wars Vision sequel, I believe, is what it is. But
Yeah.
we got confirmation for the year of the release. So Maul and Ninth Jedi both are coming out in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's nice to kind of not have a specific date, but at least have a year, knowing that
Yeah.
we're not going to be waiting 2 or 3 years for these. It will be next year, so that's
Unlike
great.
Starfighter, that's not supposed to come out in like 28
I
is or
think I think
27
it's
or 28.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully 27. I can't remember if it was one that was there was something talked about 28, and it might have been that one. I hope
Yeah,
not.
and that's why I was like, I couldn't remember if it was that one or if it was
Yeah,
something else. Because Mandalorian and Grogu are supposed to be next year, 26.
yeah. Which is
With this,
wild to me that we're still waiting that long for that because it's been done filming for a minute. Like
yeah, but CGI
I
and
know, and we want it
visuals,
to be good.
and
We need it to be good.
especially because of Grogu being like, the little
Yeah, well, Grogu
puppet
too is
thing.
more practical effects, but we
Yeah,
get like we talked earlier, Zeb, and he's a giant purple CGI blob of CGI, so we need that to look as realistic as possible. So,
yeah.
oh
Who
man,
knows?
but
Who knows what they need to be working on right now?
yeah,
Uh,
just make
but
it
yeah,
good. That's all
for
we ask.
and then I mean, like you also have Ahsoka season 2 that's supposed to be happening next year, or coming out hopefully
True.
next year. There isn't a release date for it yet, but the
No.
fact that they're starting to tape right now, um, and it's still being kind of early on in 2025, I hope that we're getting it next year.
Yeah, but we got quite a bit of stuff in Educator Wish this week, so you ready to kick that off?
Let's go.
Righteous Gemstones, Season 4, Episode 8, On Your Belly You Shall Go. I'm just going to start off with this saying, God bless this cocaine. But
Ugh!
but that's not even the craziest part of this, but it's one of the funniest parts of this episode. I will say it's probably one of the funnier episodes we've gotten of this season.
Yes.
Oh man.
And I said it already to you, but Baby Billy 100% is just carrying this
Yes.
season with his Teen song and dance. And oh my gosh, he did an interview on Colbert, and he did like a little dance, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that like this is really happening, that we have Walton Goggins out here just he's just like, yeah, I'm comfortable finally in my own skin. And
Yeah.
he's been through so much that like he's like, this is great, like I'm living my best life right now.
And you
And
can tell by like the things you said, like what was it? Colbert?
yeah,
Yeah. And then
the
also,
Late Show with Stephen Colbert, is he
yeah.
did like a interview with him
And then, like, I can't remember if it was Variety or whatever. I think he's on the front, or he's like in Variety magazine. He did like a
with the
photo
little
shoot that
yellow Speedo.
yellow speedo. He's
So
like
they
laying
talked
out in
about that.
California eating a chicken nugget.
So they actually talked about that on that interview as well.
Huh?
And that's actually illegal, like to be dressed like he was.
Illegal?
So he was wearing sweatpants,
Yeah.
and I think he had his shirt actually buttoned up, but he was on a Ferris wheel. So as soon as he got on the Ferris wheel and it started going up, he had to take off the
Oh yeah, that's
thing,
when
take
he
a
was
couple
doing
of
that deal.
photos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then he had to put the
Mhm.
sweatpants back on by the time he would come back down, because he couldn't
Well,
not
did you
have
see him
pants
also
on.
doing the one laying in the street like that? So
No.
so so part of that photo shoot, they went to like a busy street, and like I think close to the beach, and he stripped down again in the yellow speedo and like sprawled out in the middle of the street because there's a moped going by when they shoot it, and like he's literally has a chicken nugget and he's like eating it like this.
That's amazing.
It's
Uh
hilarious. uh,
yeah.
but man, there's a scene like kind of like the reference we did. Well, for one of the scenes, he actually goes to the kids to ask for some more money for reshoots, and
$2
he's like
million
$2
and
million and an 8 ball,
an eight
and
ball, and he's like,
he's like, and I love how he's asking where Adam's character. I'm drawing a blank right now. Adam Levine's character, or not Adam Levine, but um, the youngest one.
yeah, no, I know. I go to starts with a G. Nope. No, it doesn't. Calvin,
Kelvin, yeah, he's like, "Where's Kelvin?
Calvin.
I could talk some sense into him for this." But, yeah, he's asking for $2 million and 8 ball for reshoots and just to help get him through, and then we get a scene where he has, like, a little bit of cocaine in his ring, and he
Hmm.
prays to God to give him the gas to go fight this demon one last
Yeah.
time.
Because in this episode, we really get more of Eli
Mm,
and his girlfriend. They split up, but the girlfriend has like an ex-husband.
yeah.
Ex-husband's crazy and apparently has been trying to feed people to alligators because he's got an alligator farm.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we've not mentioned it this whole time. Her ex-husband's Michael Rooker, Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my God, he is.
Yeah,
How have I
and from
I
Walking Dead also, like, yeah, I can't believe we not
not
mentioned
that,
Michael
but
Rooker.
Yondu, yes.
Yeah, but Michael Rooker, I've seen a live panel with him. You talking about a dude that is a hoot of a character. Like, this guy literally in
He
the
seems like
panel
a guy that would jump up on furniture.
yeah, he does. Like, so, like, in this panel, I seen him at Fan Expo, I think it was Chicago maybe. He jumped off the stage and was, like, mingling with the crowd and stuff, and then, like, someone came up, and I think she brought him a latte or something like that. I don't and he just took it and drank it, like, not even worried about it, and then I think one time he shared a cupcake with somebody they brought him. He's like, "You take a bite, and I'm gonna take a bite." Like, the dude is insane. It's such a funny freaking panel. Like, the dude is
Uh,
hilarious in real life.
that's great.
But, yeah,
But we only have one more episode.
yeah,
The last episode is tonight, and
mhm,
that's it for Righteous Gemstones forever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it goes out with a bang. Like, I hope it's a banger of an episode, just kinda how the flow this season has been, and it really between this last episode and the next one, it just really
Mhm.
makes up for the dullness of the season.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
100%.
another thing that, will come out tonight that we're gonna talk about from last week's is The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 3, The Path. So yeah, it's been good. I enjoy this. I know there's been a lot of controversy and people being so hard on Bella Ramsey for some reason, which is wild. But I'm loving it. I'm loving this just as well as the first season. It's good. We see,
Yeah.
at the end of this episode, as we see in that picture, visit the tombstone on her way out to seek her revenge. But yeah, this episode we get her trying to really try to swoon over the community to go out with a team to kind of seek justice, not revenge, for
Mhm.
for Pedro Pascal's character dying. And
Ooh, because he did just die in this past episode, right?
right, and yeah, in the episode before, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's good. It's been good. How are you enjoying this? Oh crap,
I'm not watching
I'm
it.
watching it. Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, we
okay.
mentioned his death in the episode before last, and then this is her kind of really trying to. This episode takes place a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, later. So she's kind of healed ish. Overall, she's been training to fight and trying to. She's still hurting, but
Yeah.
she's mostly healed. But yeah, so this is what that's about is her just trying to get a team. And they thought that it actually kind of made it seem like she had enough people on her side that they would vote for it, but they didn't. And the guy that actually helped that she kind of I think in the first episode that kind of scrutinized them for dancing with another girl and calling her out. And then, Pedro laid him out on the floor. He actually ends up being the one that helped her get what she needed to escape and go seek the revenge. So
Mm.
you can see this guy like being truly sorry and having to change the heart, I think, for, what he said and did. And
Yeah.
he's really made up for it, or at least trying to. Maybe he's not made up for it, but he's trying to. We'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of ends with, them two going out and we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping we get some good action in this next one, but I got a feeling this next episode might still be just like on their journey to get there, but we'll see. I mean, I think they're there. I just don't know how long it's going to take till they actually make connection with the team again.
Yeah. But we got some set photos of Witcher season 5. So we are officially seeing Liam Hemsworth
Mm.
as the new Geralt of Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
So we do know that season 4 has finished taping, and Netflix doesn't actually have a release date for it yet. We know it's 2025 according to their website, but we don't have anything else really about that. And now we're already getting season 5 set photos, which means that they're already taping
Right.
And we should be getting that relatively next year, hopefully, if
Yeah,
season 4 still comes out this year.
and that's another controversial thing is Liam being the new Geralt.
Yep.
Because a lot of people are not having it. Like a lot of people like him, but a lot
Yeah.
of people love Henry Cavill, and like,
He did a really great job
yeah,
as The Witcher.
yeah, he did. And I think they were getting far off from the base that he wanted to be. Is why he pulled off of it. Because there
Yeah.
was multiple times that they said that he had them reshoot things because he's like, no, this isn't what he would do. This is what he would do because he has
Mhm.
such a passion for the fandom. So, which
As
is
we see
nice.
with Warhammer 4000.
Yeah,
So yeah, he gets into character, and I don't think that that's a bad thing.
yeah, no, for sure. I think it's great to see an actor that's that big of a nerd and they care that much for it.
Yeah.
But popcorn buckets are going wild these days. Let me tell you, and I'm here for it. But let's check out a couple different popcorn buckets. So we have the new Mission Impossible popcorn bucket, which I think is phenomenal. I didn't even know about this until you sent it. And I'm like, oh my god! It takes a special key to open it up, correct?
hmm Yeah,
Yes.
so the key that's on the right-hand side is the key that you need to use to open up the time capsule thing where the popcorn actually is on the left. You actually
Mm,
get to see in the trailer itself of Mission Impossible, you see Tom Cruise actually has like that key in the
it-
trailer.
nice. Yeah,
So,
that's so good.
yeah, the direct correlation, and knowing my dumb luck, I would lose the key. So that's probably not a popcorn bucket that I would be getting.
You get
But
it. You can
this,
never open it again.
exactly. But this next popcorn bucket is definitely one that I am looking forward to. So, How to
Yeah,
Train Your Dragon, has a popcorn bucket, and Toothless just looks amazing as a
so
popcorn
adorable.
bucket. Yeah.
It's the
Just
cutest popcorn bucket I've seen, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I haven't seen anything about like a Lilo and Stitch popcorn bucket yet. But I feel like a Stitch popcorn bucket would also be really cute, kind of like in its tummy or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would want for that popcorn bucket, but
Oh no, that
I
that's
think
definitely one that it's a must get. Like it's so a must get.
yeah. But
Uh,
yeah, Toothless as a popcorn bucket. It's great. And that's coming out in June 13th, so hopefully hopefully I can get my hands on one.
but Keanu Reeves gets raw in a new John Wick documentary called "Wick is Pain."
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. So like he's kind of like already snarky in the trailer that like kind of came out with it.
mhm.
Um, and it looks interesting. I'm all about documentaries, and I know that you are
Oh yeah,
too. So this comes out on May 9th, just 5 days away. So I'll probably watch this and talk to you about it.
yeah. I definitely be watching it. I need to get on a John Wick rewatch and new watch because I still,
Ballerina.
yeah, that's coming out, and then we know we got the confirmation John Wick 5. I think we talked about last week or maybe 2 weeks
hmm
ago. But I've not even watched
And a
all the
John
John
Wick
Wick
prequel
films yet.
series.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
you
I've only seen the
wait,
first
what?
two.
What?
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. I don't know why. There's no reason. It's just how life played out. So
Okay. Well, I definitely recommend it. For you to at least like finish up John Wick. The latest one, you know, you can tell that Keanu Reeves is a little bit older, which is fine. He's still doing
mhm.
his like a little bit of his own stunts. Um, and it looks a little bit choreographed for the fight
Really,
scenes. Yeah.
like too rehearsed.
Yeah, like there's a scene that he like grabs a guy and like hits him into a drum or something, and like it looks like he put little to no effort and the guy was throwing himself into the drum.
Oh gosh.
Um, and so you'll see it when you get to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll admit, like when I see that scene, I'm like, oh, okay, I see exactly what you're talking about.
hmm Yeah.
Oh.
But so there's an original 80s movie called Roadhouse,
Mhm.
and they remade it with Amazon with Jake Gyllenhaal
Right.
as like it was just a remake of Roadhouse. But now they're actually in the talks of working on a Roadhouse 2 with Jake Gyllenhaal and the director of Guy Ritchie. I have not watched the remake because
So,
I will only choose so many remakes that I will
right.
watch, and that is not one of them.
So Roadhouse is one of my favorites from the 80s. Like, I
Mhm.
absolutely love it. I love the whole cast. I mean, there's so many. I mean, you get Jeff Healey in there. You have
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze, but you also have Sam Elliott. Like, and it's got its corniness. It's an 80s movie, but like, it's so good. It's one of my all-time favorite. It's probably one of my top 5 80s movies. But I watched the remake of Roadhouse, and I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but was not like, a lot of people loved it, but I did not. And
Yeah.
like, I didn't expect it to be a replication of the original. I expect it to be a more modern take, but I don't know, that the writing in it to me was not good. And then you had Conor McGregor as like one of the main villains in it, and Conor
What?
McGregor should never be allowed to act on screen again, in my opinion.
Oh God.
Like, no,
Yeah, that
it's
was
so
probably back
bad.
when he was like super all about
It was
UFC,
just
right? Like
no, this was just 2 years ago.
yeah, no, 2 years ago he was like super into like he was the guy in UFC,
Yeah,
the
well,
fighter.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I know he's always been popular for a long time, but like, and I think he's trying to get his hands in other things now because I think he's done fighting, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I would choose to drink Conor McGregor's Proper 12 any day over watching his film again. So, uh, his Irish whiskey, like, it's not the
Oh,
best
I was
either, but
just
it's
like,
all
I don't
right.
know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, Proper 12 is Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey, which is like, it's mid, but
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, it's his acting is so bad, and it's half why I will never watch this again ever. And Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't on his best performance either. I think a lot of it had to do with the writing and directing. So we'll see. If I'll give this one a chance and hoping it's a lot better. But
Hopefully it just comes out straight on Amazon so you don't have to actually go
yeah,
see it in theaters.
well, the first one did, so I'm assuming this is probably going to be another Amazon original.
Mm,
I would say,
yeah.
but
Um
yeah.
yeah, so Minecraft is yet again in the news for something that actually isn't the movie itself. Jack Black, being the amazing songwriter and singer that he is, has done it again. He has hit the Billboard Top 100 charts for Steve's Lava Chicken.
Hmm,
Um, and I don't know anything about the song because I haven't watched the movie. But
same.
I'll probably actually just go listen to the song because it's Jack Black and I love everything that Jack Black does with his singing career. But it's the shortest song that's ever hit the top 100, which I think is pretty cool. I'm
It is.
happy that Jack Black is still doing things. Like the last time that I saw or heard him put out anything that I can think of right now is the Oops, I Did It Again Tenacious D rendition in
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4. Um, great if you haven't heard it.
I don't know if yeah, I feel like I have. I'll need to pull this up and see it again. Like, I have mad respect for Jack Black. Can't deny his talent in multiple areas. I'm just not a huge fan of his, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I can't deny the man's talent. He's definitely talented.
You don't like Tenacious D?
Yeah, it's for me.
Okay. No,
Like,
no, no. I was just like, I was like,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, like, it's not bad. Like, I think there's great things about it, but then it's not one of those things where I'm going to go out of my way to, like, to talk about it or make sure like I know everything about it, because it's just for me it doesn't land that great.
Yeah.
So,
Mm,
but I know
okay.
there's a huge amount of people out there that love Tenacious D, huge amount.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Shogun season 2 is official and production starts January 2026. So this is something
In
I have not
Vancouver.
seen the first season of. Have you seen this?
Nope.
Me neither. I've actually heard a lot of good things about it. It's been on my list for a while, and honestly,
Hmm.
I kind of forgot about it. This you having this in the news today makes me want to go make sure I watch season 1, because I officially have just in 2 weeks time now has watched all 7 seasons of Black Mirror. It's done. I was hooked. I watched all 7 seasons in 2 weeks.
It's worth it, especially because I'm
So good.
pretty sure they're doing another season. They're taping it. I don't know. I haven't looked it up and I haven't like
Yeah,
I don't want to get let down and them say like
yeah.
no.
I
And
don't want
I'm like,
Black
no.
Mirror to ever end, ever. And I feel like the way it's kind of like slightly interconnected, but there's always
Yeah.
all these standalone movies, or
Hmm.
well, some of them are almost the length of a movie. I think they could do this forever, as long as they kept good creative writers on doing just random stories.
Yeah, but I'm also afraid when people do that. Like if you're doing something forever, you're probably not gonna have the same.
Well, I agree with you 100% if it's a connectivity thing, as in like you're telling a person's story forever. But like
Yeah.
these are just constant different stories. So it's almost like, even though there is that slight interconnectivity, it's not like, Handmaid's Tale, 9 seasons type thing. It's a, you're getting I don't know.
There's only five,
But anyways,
I think.
I don't know. I think it could work long as they kept creative writers telling different stories every time. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
here to support long as the stories stay great and unique and different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see some of these writers and creators that have created these make some full length films because there's some stuff that's good that I wish it was longer
I
and
would like that for Love, Death, and Robots.
yeah, I feel like it's the same writers and creators that's mixed in with Love, Death, and Robots as Black Mirror. I see too
Who
many
knows?
similarities and too many. I don't know. I feel like a lot of it's. I feel like it's the same group of people. I do. I'm actually going to research this. I'm going to find out because I have been thinking about this since you mentioned that. I've been literally thinking
Yeah.
about this for the past 2 weeks. I'm like, there's got to be some connectivity in the creativeness of this.
Yeah. But we know how the live action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs did.
Mhm.
Not great, right? But I guess it's something that is kind of up now for public domain because there are two horror Snow White movies, but the one that we're going to be talking about is called Death of Snow White. It was a movie that got like shot, I guess, like in Europe or something, and came out there, and then back in March, and it came out in theaters, I guess, here on May 2nd. I haven't found a theater like around me that has it, but according to the trailer, it's out.
Interesting.
Um, so it's all about like Snow White is haunted by her evil stepmother, and she overcomes the horrors by going into the like of the dark forest by making unlikely friends with seven murderous dwarves and a dark retelling of this classic fairy tale. And I'm like, what?
I actually kind of want to see this.
Yeah,
I
no, I mean,
I would die, and it would bring so much joy to my heart if this ended up bringing in more money in the theaters it does hit than the Snow White that just recently released.
yee.
Oh man, it would be
That
so
would be
funny.
unfortunate for the actors involved, but that's okay.
Yeah. But as you've talked about on previous episodes, Now You See Me is back, but now a new trailer, a debut trailer is actually out and it looks so good. As we know, this is the third one. It's called Now You See Me, Now
Yes.
You Don't. And we also know there's a fourth one that's into play. But if you've
Hmm.
not seen this trailer, go see it. It's got the OG cast plus new cast members, and we're pretty much doubling the size of the team.
Hmm.
And
There's
I am
eight
here.
of them now. Yeah.
Yes, it looks so good. And I'm so glad Morgan Freeman is back. I absolutely love that man. Like, guy's such a national treasure. Like, I literally, he's like the perfect narration voice for anything.
Hmm.
And he's just such a class act. But
And we
this
got
trailer,
a poster for it too, right?
yeah,
For Now You
yeah.
See Me.
Yep, here it is. And that's a, yeah, it's not in English. Sorry for not having an English title, but it is in English out there, I promise.
Yes. Yeah, no, it is. But that's okay. Like, 'cause as a lot of you might know or may not know,
Uh,
Labyrinth is my favorite movie.
yes.
And there is like towards the end of the movie of Labyrinth that he has all of the stairs that they're like walking down, and like it's upside
Oh,
down, and
okay.
so that literally reminds
It's
me of
pulled
that
from
scene.
that?
There's
Gotcha.
yeah, I mean, there's probably like other people that have done it, but anytime that I see that, I think of that. And then
Yeah.
also Destiny. There is a dungeon called Prophecy, um, and like you have a room that has stairs on the ceiling, and on the it gets real trippy real fast, and the colors are like red and blue. Um, so, yeah, that's I absolutely love the poster. I don't really know how I feel about another Now You See Me movie. I'm gonna
Oh,
be
really?
honest. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a chance,
Mhm.
and at least like see it, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. This is supposed to come out November 14th, so
absolutely love the first two, and
yeah.
I don't know why. It's like I've always been, I wouldn't say obsessed, but super intrigued when it comes to magicians, right? Like legit magicians. And then something about when I've seen them, when there's been films about them, I don't know. I like The Prestige with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman and Paul Giamatti. Like, I absolutely love that
And
movie.
David Bowie.
Yeah, yeah. And what's the other? The Illusionist with Edward Norton and
Hmm.
I think Mark Ruffalo. I can't remember, but
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen
both
that.
those
Yeah.
movies are great. I love anything when it comes to this, and like, and when you like take that and then twist it in with heist stuff. Oh my god, I love heist movies too. So like, Now You See Me.
You like Oceans? Like
Huh?
the
Oh, I
Oceans
love
movies?
Ocean's movies. Yes, because like not only you get stacked cast, but you got great comedy, but you have the high stuff involved to that. Like, oh my god, I'm here for it. I love Now You See Me. Like, I couldn't have been more excited when this got announced. So,
Yeah. No,
uh,
that's great. But Jurassic World, Rebirth with ScarJo, as we were talking about her before, it officially has a rating of PG-13, and why this is like important is because the original Jurassic Park actually is had that PG-13 classic like rating, so um, it's just like keeping the same rating so you can have more people coming in because like kids love dinosaurs.
right.
Um, and also seeing this on the big screen for the trailers that I saw before Thunderbolts actually happened, I was like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay."
we can expect to get a little blood, but not a lot of blood.
Yes.
It's not gonna
And
be gory or nothing. So
yeah, and then not a lot of like curse words or anything like that.
right,
So yeah.
yeah. But also, the Breakfast Club legend himself has just joined Wednesday season 2. Anthony Michael Hall is now officially going to be on the cast, which is great. Which I don't think I ever mentioned this before, and I don't know why I didn't. But he is actually one of the kind of bad guys turns good at the end of this last Reacher season I talked to you about.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah,
That's insane. Okay.
yeah. I couldn't believe I sit there and like seen this, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, oh my god, I don't think I ever mentioned to you because you didn't watch it. Like, that's
Yeah.
actually who this one of the main cast members was in this last season of Reacher. But yeah, he was bad,
Damn.
and then at the end he like did his little good deed and sacrificed himself. So
Yeah. But this is actually really cool that he's joining Wednesday's cast because he was in Edward Scissorhands, and that was also a Tim Burton
right,
production. So he's actually teaming back up with Tim Burton. So that's I love the two of them working together. Yeah.
that's great.
I love Anthony Michael Hall. I love Tim Burton. So yeah,
uh
I love that dark broody stuff.
Oh yeah, dark broody anything, and like Wednesday's fun. Like, it's so great. It's definitely dark and broody, but mixed with a light of comedy. So,
Mm,
but Dexter's back, and Dexter Resurrection teaser just dropped, and I am so
yes.
mad at myself, but I actually have not watched the teaser that dropped. So, do you care to
Oh,
tell?
yeah, no, it's literally just that. It's him like having that magazine, the not magazine, but the newspaper over his
Mhm.
face, and then just bringing it down and then smiling, and that's it.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
good,
it
good. I
says
thought it was like
July
a longer
11th.
trailer that I missed, so
No, it's
I
just a
don't feel
teaser.
so bad.
Yeah, no, it's literally just a teaser, just like a little like, hey, here's a premiere date because now we have a
Mhm.
date of when it's was coming out of July 11th, and just like a little teaser of Michael C. Hall. That's his name, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Michael
Yeah,
C. Hall.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
which is real
And
close to Michael Anthony Hall.
yeah, which is why I was like, okay, please tell me I'm not mixing two names up like I normally do.
Nope, you are right on the money.
Hell yeah. Uh, but yeah, it's just like him, like just sitting there, like with that blue background, newspaper, brings down, smiles, and then it says like Dexter's back or something, and then
Yeah.
or Dexter Resurrection, and then it has the date.
Yeah, it says
Um,
Dexter is dead on the newspaper.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
yeah, and you see
so
that
ready for
clear as
this.
day because, yeah, of where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be in the timeline of Dexter's.
Which is becoming a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it.
but Daniel Craig, yes, he stepped out of Sergeant Rock, but he is doing the Knives Out 3 mystery, which is called Wake Up Dead Man.
Hmm.
And we don't have a date for it, but we did get a look of his character as Blanc. And he's just kind of like in a forest, and I was just like, okay, cool. So he's got like this longer hair.
Yeah.
Um, and the fact that we don't have a date doesn't make me like super upset because I'm thinking because we know it's happening this year.
Hmm.
I'm thinking it's going to be happening in September. And why I think that is because the first Knives Out was September 7th is when that came out. Glass Onion
Okay.
came out
Right.
September 10th. So if we're staying
Yeah.
in the realm of
That
like
makes
when it's
sense.
supposed to debut, I want to say it's supposed to be in September of this year. Uh, you have to watch Glass Onion before
Nope.
you get to
I
watch
have.
it.
I've
You
officially.
have watched it now?
I watched it about a month ago. I forgot to tell you, but I have
Okay.
watched it.
Oh,
So I
all
am
right,
caught up,
cool.
and it was good. I
Good.
enjoyed it. It was so
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. And Janelle Monáe, just great.
Yeah.
She was great in it.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I was so mad when I seen her get killed, but then I'm like, at the end, I'm like, oh, okay, we good. Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
expect her to have a twin. So, but it looked like in that picture of him in the forest that there's headstones also in that forest on that hillside. So
Mm.
yeah, look like, let me pull that back up real quick. I think so. Yeah, looks like some
Yeah.
headstones. So he's in some kind of
Yeah, yeah,
graveyard.
yeah. Yeah. I think in this one, Mila Kunis is supposed to be in it.
Oh, okay.
And they're talking about because the first Knives Out, was out in theaters, and then
Right.
Glass Onion was just on Netflix that it came
Hmm.
out. But there is talks about getting this one to come back out into theaters.
Okay.
Um, I don't
Oh,
know if they have gotten a solidified like yes, it's happening or no, it
right.
isn't because we don't have a date yet.
Right.
So who knows?
If it does go theater, I'll see it. It may be like a Tuesday I see it on, but I'd definitely go to see it in theaters. I just love
Yeah,
Daniel Craig, man. He's so I don't know.
he's so
Eh,
talented.
he's so talented. He's just such a suave guy. Like no matter
Yeah,
what he's in, that's just like his natural. Even if it's different variations of it, he's always some suave guy.
yeah. Um, so speaking of like Netflix things, Netflix has a event that they're going to be live streaming on the 31st called Tudum, or like as like you would hear it on like when Netflix starts up is
Yeah.
like the
The
Tudum,
noise. Yeah,
Yeah, if you really think about it and you look at it, it's the same. It's the same. Um,
that's hilarious.
and uh, so like they had this like little teaser trailer about the event itself.
Hmm.
And it showed things like Happy Gilmore, to Wednesday to the Wake Up Dead Man, where we got like this first look. One Piece season 2, I believe. Squid Game 3, Stranger Things 5, the Frankenstein, um, Guillermo del Toro movie that
Hmm.
we've had kind of like shots from. We got like they said that that's also going to be there. Emily in Paris season 5 that we've been talking about literally last week as
Yeah.
well, and then like a lot more things from this showcase itself. So it's going to be streaming live, like I said,
Hmm.
on the 31st. So I might watch it on like June 1st because as we saw with the last time that Netflix had a streaming event, it didn't end so well because
Right.
the glitchiness.
It crashed because
Um,
so many people was watching it, right? Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Because it was the fight
Yep.
where we saw Mike Tyson's butt.
Yep. Yep. That's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, like you said though, we'll be watching it and we'll definitely be covering it and see if anything new that we don't know comes out of it.
Yeah.
But you got some gaming news for us, right?
Yes. All right, so I just have three little things that I want to talk about real quick. But the first thing being the biggest thing that I have been talking about time and time again
Mm.
is GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6. But so this had like its first trailer come out in 2023, and they've been hyping it up and hyping it up, and it was supposed to come out this year, and And I said it like as soon as they said that it's coming out this year, it's coming out this year, and we still hadn't had any new trailers, we hadn't had any gameplay, hadn't had anything
Mm.
of like an actual date, just 2025, and then it was fall of 2025. But it is officially delayed all the way to May 26th, 2026. So now
Woo.
that is a whole year. So everybody thought they were getting it this year. Well, nope. You are now having to wait a whole nother year for Grand Theft Auto
My
to
God.
come back out.
I've seen so many. I seen a funny meme the other day. Somebody created some artwork that showed like that picture I just pulled up, but it was
Mm.
like of a couple in their 70s, and so this is what the people are going to look like when it finally releases.
Yeah, because like the fact that you first started hearing about this back in 2023 and you're now waiting three years before
Mm,
you're even getting it, like,
it's a long time,
and you can't even say it was COVID that did it
right?
because COVID's long gone.
How people feel about this is kind of how I feel about that Wolverine game that's been teased, and we've seen a teaser of a trailer since 2021, I think, or 2022, and we still don't
Yeah.
have a release date for it to come out.
No, and they keep talking about it though every now and then.
Yeah,
Just like, no, 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 we're still working on it. It's still in our wheelhouse, like, because they know that Wolverine is like a big um a
fan favorite.
guy,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, thanks. A big character, if you will, that like people want to play a game with him.
yeah. Well, I think
So
too that's probably part of why it's taking so long because they know if they do something wrong with that character, they will be scrutinized and murdered. So
I don't
they gotta
know,
make it right.
but you're also getting scrutinized for saying that
Yeah,
you're doing something and not actually showing
you're
the
right.
work.
You are right.
But another thing that we got was Borderlands 4. So this actually got pushed up in days. It pushed up 11 days for its release, and now it's going to be releasing on September 12th. And there's also a little bit of gameplay. I'm not really familiar with Borderlands like that.
Hmm.
Uh, but it looks like a fun game. I know that it's like a multiplayer game that you can play with your friends as well. Unfortunately, this is coming out the same time as another Destiny expansion comes out.
Mm.
So it's the exact same day that the two come out, and I'm like, oof, big oof. Because Destiny's been kind of like struggling lately,
Right.
with coming out with like stuff to entice people to come back,
Right.
um, like content, and now you're having Borderlands 4, which everyone's been hyped up about, and it moved up in timeline, which makes everyone even more
You
happy.
don't see that often. Things moving up.
No,
It's usually the
no,
opposite.
yeah, like GTA 6, where it slipped to the right. And now the Borderlands moved up. But there is one last thing that we're going to talk about, and it's EA. So EA canceled Titanfall.
Oh no.
Um, so Titanfall was a really cool, fun game that I actually got to play on Xbox. I played Titanfall 1,
Mm,
and I really liked it because I could like kind of like skirt on walls. Um, It was kind of a lot like Halo, but like
hmm.
you're wearing this like giant suit of armor. But they canceled Titanfall 3. And that's just like some fan art that I got because they never actually had like art go out for this. And they also laid off 300 employees. So it's something that we've
Wow.
kind of been seeing happening with gaming corporations is that they've been kind of like laying off people just because the demand isn't always as what it used to be.
Yeah. Dang. That's sad. Well,
Yeah,
that's a lot of people. But yeah, that's all you got for
but
gaming,
that's it
right?
on gaming. Yeah, you want to get in some con spotlight?
That's good. So we've got Motor City Comic Con, which is May 16th through the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
And this takes place in Novi, Michigan. So it's ought to be a real fun one. They got a huge celebrity lineup, as always. Kind of pick the top five. I think that I would see, and that would start off with Sam Witwer, especially since we just got the announcement of the Maul Shadow Lords, because he plays the voice of Darth Maul in the animated series, and now continuing that character in this new project.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he played shoot Doomsday, I think in Smallville.
Oh,
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I think he
okay.
played Doomsday in Smallville with Tom Welling. Then you also have Christina
That's
Ricci.
not confusing at all.
Yeah. You have her, and as we all know, she's in the latest, Wednesday, and a lot of fan favorites throughout the years. Then we have
Hmm.
Bryce Dallas Howard, who I just
Oh,
recently seen in Black Mirror, but then also she's directed a episode or two of Mandalorian, as well
isn't
as
she also
Jurassic World.
in Jurassic World? Yeah.
Yeah. And then my favorite is you have the OG X-Men cast. Uh, get meet all of them, get all their autographs, and that would be such a great time. That alone would make it worth it for me to go. And then,
Yeah.
as we also kind of talked earlier about, Jeremy Renner is going to be there. So, yeah, another great selection. And there's so many more on that list. Like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
a pretty good list. And there's some great panels. Like if you go to
Hmm.
this website, they have a plethora of attractions and things that's going on. Really kind of commend this Comic Con actually because they really seem to have a their schedule really put together for people to
Hmm.
visualize and see compared to
They have a
what a
lot
lot
of
of them do.
things to do.
They
Yeah.
do. And I actually just now seen your pick on the panel, and I didn't even put two and two together because I was immediately thinking of just meeting and getting autographs with them. So I'm not going to change my pick, but your pick is actually would be the all time one to go to. But what I threw on there was there's going to be a Watchmen watch along with Malin Ackerman. So that would be fun. I'm not a huge Watchmen person, but I did enjoy it, and I think she's a great actress. And I think it would be cool, so cool to watch along that with her.
Hmm.
Then also there is a toothless photo op, ginormous, like life size toothless. You
Aw.
can sit on and get pictures with, and part of the proceeds go to Make a Wish Foundation. So it's also
Aw.
for a good cause. But you have
That's beautiful.
a pick of a couple panels as well.
Yes. Yes, I do. As I like pretend to toss my hair back, but it's in a ponytail. But it's okay. So there are two things
Hmm.
that I saw on their schedule that I was like, this is where I'm going. So the first one is the one that I was shocked that you did not put on yours, but it's the X-Men Experience. It's a celebrity panel with all of the X-Men animated voice actors.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on Saturday at 11 a.m. is when that's happening. I would love to go to that because I went to an X-Men panel for Phoenix Fan Fusion and
Mhm.
had an absolute blast. It was amazing. So can't talk that up enough. And then hopefully, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get some news about, X-Men 97 season 2. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, that is the panel to go to of that thing. I'm so upset. Like I obviously seen it. I put that on my list with the actors, and like it didn't even click with me. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
It's
What
okay.
is what is wrong with me?
But the second panel that I saw was when I was looking at the celebrities, I saw that Bill Nye the Science Guy is going to be there, and like I had a lot of like when I was growing up, I was watching him while we were in our
Oh yeah,
classrooms when our teachers rolled out the little TVs on the
Stan.
TV
Yes.
carts. No, no, it was on a cart. It was on like an
Oh
actual
yeah,
like
that's what I meant by Stan.
'cause-
But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
with the old
Uh,
bulky
mhm,
square TVs. Yes,
yep,
and a
yep.
VCR.
So, yep. By the time I got to high school, though, it definitely, or no, it was middle school when I was really watching them like that. It was definitely a DVD player that they had.
Mm.
But yes, at first, when I was in elementary school, it definitely was VHS. Um, but there's a Bill Nye the Science Guy panel that's happening on Sunday at like 1:15 to 1:45. It's like a quick like 30-minute like little panel,
uh,
but he is just a really great down to earth guy. It's like anytime that I've uh seen him do like he's actually like really just all about science. At first, yeah, it was like a kid show, but then he did the Bill Nye Saves the World or something
okay,
that came out like I think like 4 or 5 years ago.
I've not seen that.
Um oh, yeah, it's good. Because he's still a scientist, like he still
Right.
cares, still cares about the world and like what's happening in the world. And I love that because, we need to keep the world safe and green and
Yeah,
healthy
that would be a fun
for
one to go
years
to.
to come. Yeah.
Like it'd be so like sentimental. I feel like in nostalgia, like mixed in one. Like
Yeah.
yeah, just because like you
Dude,
said
his
that.
autographs are like $150. And I'm
Oh my
like, ugh.
god.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. He's old,
I
so
guess yeah.
eventually, yeah,
I mean
but
Charlie Cox is just 120, but damn okay. Uh,
Charlie Cox hasn't been around as long as Bill Nye.
oh, but he will be eventually. I don't think that man's going anywhere for a long time.
Yeah, fingers crossed over here.
But yeah, no,
But
that's a great panel to put on there. Like I so would want to go to that too, just because
yeah.
of how big a part of our childhood he was.
And you also know that he's probably going to be wearing a lab coat and actually
Oh
doing a
yeah,
science experiment there. Like,
and tell
because
me
how
that
could you not?
that theme song doesn't like still live rent free in our heads.
Bill
Like
Nye the Science Guy. Bill
yeah,
Nye the Science Guy. Bill, 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 Bill. Yeah.
between that and the did you know that? Now you know.
And
Yeah.
now you know. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that wraps us up for this week. Until next week, catch everybody later.
Don't forget, we are
Oh,
doing a
oh,
Thunderbolts.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
So
So
Monday or
you will see
Tuesday.
us
Yeah.
very soon, right? Doing the
Spoiler
spoiled,
killed.
yes, Thunderbolts. So we'll catch you there.
I'm
But
so
if you guys
excited to
haven't
talk
seen it,
about that.
don't worry. We will see you next week. Actually, you'll see Blake next week. I think next week is one of the ones that I won't be here for. I don't know. We'll figure
Yes,
that
yeah.
out, and we'll
So
let you guys know.
next week we will have a special guest host, and it'll be Bleeding Rainbow Comics. So it'll be Win and LJ that will be guesting on here as a host, and so don't want to miss that. But
Yeah.
yeah, now we're done.
Now we're done. Peace, guys.